I'm Odélia Lay Verdial from Timor-Leste. From yesterday's session and even today's session, I think we have learned a lot. So I'm here actually sharing our experience, but not like any other countries that have gone through the process and itself, but we are just starting from for preparing for transitioning from cash to accrual. So basically, the main topic, the main points that I would like to share here is the preparation of Timor-Leste government in preparing the asset registration for fixed assets, and also the law itself and how we are preparing the transition itself. The 3 points that I would like to touch base here in the overview of Timor-Leste assets management is one, the legal framework, and asset registration and asset management initiatives. We thank to the government, the current government, that when they came in, they supports the former government's plan to continue the work to have the transition, to start the process of the transition from the cash to accrual. So in the Article 64 of Law Number 2, 2022, the law and framework of the General State Budget and Public Financial Management highlights the legal foundation for public administration sector services and entities to manage financial accounting for assets, liabilities, revenues, and expenses. There is also a ministerial diploma describes about the structure and responsibilities of each directorate, and draw to attention, there's one law there specifying the role of the General Directorate of State Asset Management, which is also under the Ministry of Finance, in managing movable assets, as well as its responsibility for coordinating the inventory and registration. Sorry. Asset registrations and asset management initiatives. All government entities, there's a law that forces them, are required to use the asset registration system of the Ministry of Finance for registering both movable and immovable assets, including infrastructure assets and state properties. And the Directorate General of State Asset Management, in coordination with the Directorate General of Treasury, monitors the implementation of all state assets registration. Treasury has initiated a comprehensive process to ensure the systematic registration and valuation of fixed assets. And the discussion have been initiated with key ministries such as for fixed asset management, with the key ministries such as Ministry of Justice and Ministry of Public Works, with the collaboration of FMIS and the Free Balance to enhance the asset module, with a formal request made in 2022. The asset enhancement process has already commenced in last year, 2023, showcasing a commitment to improving asset management practices. The Treasury aims for full utilization of the enhanced asset module, covering both movable and fixed assets, starting from the mid-year 2024 onwards. This is the classifications of the assets. Prior to entering the data or register the fixed asset information into the FMI system, we need to classify the fixed asset management. So we have classified the asset tailored to the country needs, which also follow the international standard. We have classified at the main level, property, plant, and equipment, And we also classified for intangible assets, inventories, and biological assets. Of course, as we can see under the parent class, what we call in there, the property, plants, and equipment, we also have the subclass that are listed there. And under subclass, we have items that roll up to the subclass. The same thing for the biological assets and inventories and intangible assets. We have listed all this classification, and these have been provided to the FMIS team and to Free Balance to accommodate all this information in the FMIS system. This is the comparison between the current situation and systematic process, emphasizing the improvements and benefit that the systematic process will bring to the government asset management in Timor-Leste. The current situation is the situation that we are facing right now. And the systematic process, those are the points that we raise to the FMIS and Free Balance team to accommodate those points in the system. So the current situation, we are we process the data collection for fixed assets manually, which means that the Ministry of Justice and Ministry of Public Works, when they collect the data from each entity and they register it in the simple Excel sheet. And the reporting responsibility is under the Directorate General of Treasury, Ministry of Finance for both fixed and movable assets. So the reporting, we just presented the list of assets without its value. And again, the current situation, we already initiated the discussion in 2022, and the system enhancement already took place in 2023, and we are hoping that we will go live this mid-year. Since we are adopting the cash-based accounting, so it's only registering the cash transactions. And for the assets, both fixed and movable, we only treated it as expenditures. We are lacking of tracking the record of fixed assets informations. And because of all this, the Court of Audit every year when we submitted the report, the consolidated financial report to Court of Audit, it keeps on recommending us to start do a registration for the assets, specifically the fixed assets. And they also recommend us to start have it value. And we have the existing system, existing module in FMS. It's only registered the non-fixed assets, but we propose them to accommodate the fixed assets. And we only have that one, so we don't have the integrated with other system. The systematic process, as we can see that we are hoping once the system is ready, all the information will be captured in one system only for both fixed and non-fixed. And it can help us to generate the reports from one database but separate between the fixed and non-fixed assets. And we are hoping that with this preparation, we can also move from the cash to at least transition to cash to modified, and then later in some time to the accrual. And we also asked the FMIS team to enhance the system to accommodate for the fixed asset valuation. And we don't have people yet to do the asset valuations. And then with the system in place, we hope to have the asset tracking system for accurate record keeping. And we can also comply with the audit recommendation for enhanced reporting. And this fixed asset tracking already enhanced in FMIS system. This is asset transfer flow process that currently being enhanced in the FMI system. So it's usually the data entry for the initial stage. We only propose to Directorate of General Asset Management to enter the movable assets, to register the assets. But for the fixed assets, we recommend to the Ministry of Public Works and Ministry of Justice to register the fixed assets informations. And when they want to transfer the assets from one to another ministry, this is the flow that it has to, the data entry, register the information and send it for the the directorate to approve it. And if it rejects, of course, the information will send back to the user. And if it is approved, then it has to come to the Ministry of Finance, the Treasury, to approve it, or to confirm it that this asset has been approved and ready to move from one ministry to another ministry. So once the confirmation is confirmed from Directorate of General Treasury, then it sends the information, the flow to new asset custodian. So they have to accept it to validate that, okay, the asset has been transferred and successfully received. And then once it is received from their end, it will of course store it and recognize in the database as of the in the asset module. And anyone, once they record the asset, it's recognized in the asset module, then of course the information also will receive from the director general that in charge of the acquisition. And of course, everyone can generate the report to track down where the asset is now in the system itself. And both Treasury Department and Asset Management Department will do the annual inspection of the assets. This highlight the achievements and key challenges that Timor-Leste have come so far. So Timor-Leste has successfully coordinated, the government has successfully coordinated and clarified responsibility of Ministry for Fixed Asset Registration, and the legislation introduced for a compulsory and successfully established asset classifications, asset module enhancement already in place, still waiting for the reporting part for the fixed assets and the field for the valuations. And it's tested and user acceptance tests have been conducted. The forms and reports templates of asset classes developed and configured. So the challenges that we are facing is to ensure the asset collection of asset informations within the initial asset registry process. And then make available of financial reporting and its valuation in the system. We are lacking train the end users to familiarize with the data registration, and we are lacking of the specialists or analysts of the asset modules. It says here transition to accrual, but this is the steps that we have go through or prepare for. So to uniform asset classification and criteria, we have done that. Then sharpening the authority of competence parties. We have divided the responsibility, even though we have not even to the line ministries itself, but at least at the very high level, at the two ministries, key ministries that we have described their responsibilities there to take care of the asset registration for fixed assets and the integration of state asset data. So in this case, we will have all the assets registered in one system. And then standard chart of account. Well, for our chart of account, we have structured it in a way that we, based on the classification that just shown previously in the previous slides. So we classified those, our category and then come to the items and then line items. So in the line item, it will link these three stages will also link to the chart of account, but the line item is the very lower level that when the user enter the information of the asset, it will use that line item. But still, we need someone, the expertise to review our chart of account. Human resource capacity. We are lacking of the capacity. That's why we need the capacity building for this preparation. And reporting, of course, we hope that once the preparation ready and system in place, the human resource are ready. So we are hoping to one day produce the balance sheets and have all the information ready there, not only for the management level, but also for the citizens to be able, like the previous presentation and even yesterday, for the citizen to be able to read itself about the financial information about the country performance. These are advantages, not to mention the advantages. We all know the advantages of a fixed asset, but these are the advantages that we present also to our government. So in order for them to support us, at least to continue the work to proceed with the transitioning, so we have presented to them all these advantages. We know many more advantages, but we present this to have them have a better understanding what's the importance of the fixed assets itself. I think I conclude my presentation. That's all. Thank you and obrigada.